Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and Assalamu alaikum viewers. My name is Abira Said Wali and I am a level 1 student at Ruhan School, Islamabad campus. So viewers, today we a special guest with us name is Aline, and so let's start. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm doing very well today. Thank you.
Okay. So my first question is, please introduce yourself for my audience.
All right. Well, I've been a psychotherapist and a marriage counselor for 50 years, more than 50 years. And I also am a international professional speaker. I'm a 9-time Amazon best-selling author. I have a book called Emotions in Motion, Mastering Life's Built-in Navigation System. And I'm an expert on realigning with emotions, which means working with emotions the way they're designed to work for us.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is, what inspired her to focus on emotional well-being?
A very bad experience inspired me where I was married and I had a very young child, and my husband decided that he uh, didn't want to stay with me and my child, and he left us and divorced me, said he wasn't ready to be a father. And all this emotion came up out of me. Most of it was a lot of anger for being, because we agreed to have the child and then he wanted to go. So, uh, but all that anger I knew was not good for my child. So I started trying to find answers. What is anger about? Uh, what's it for? Why do we have it? How can you work with it? Can you get rid of it? Those questions. And this was way back before you even were thinking about being here on the earth in the early 1970s. And there weren't any answers. I went to the university library and worked with the librarians. There were no answers. People didn't study emotions separately from other things back then. So I spent about 10 years figuring out answers myself. I began to use them with myself, and then the people I worked with, I'd say, "This worked for me. Would you like to try it?" And when they tried it, it worked for them too.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is, how does she define success in her work?
You mean, how do I define success in my work?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Um, how do I define success in my work? When I can successfully in my work, I consider I'm a partner. Like if you have a problem and it's causing you pain, and I can help you see things differently, work with them differently, make changes so your life gets better, that's success for me. And excuse me, and what I've also learned, when you're a helper of other people, the most important person to help is your own self. Because if your own self is not helped, you can't really help anybody else.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is, what challenge has she faced during her 50 years of career?
How many hours do you have? I have a lot of challenges. First of all, I was a single parent, so I was working and developing a business and doing new things at the same time I was raising children. But interestingly, my husband left when our child was not even 1 year old, and suddenly I thought, oh my gosh, I have to raise a child. I have to be a parent. How am I going to do that? What's important about parenting? What do I want to make sure my child gets as she's growing up? And so I ended up creating what at that time was a new way of parenting children, and it was powerful enough that I actually have taught it around the world. I taught it in Australia and Ireland and the United States. So that was a big challenge, how to raise your child by yourself so that your child has a good start in life, uh, and what's important for them to learn. And the most important thing at that time for my children was that they learned to make decisions themselves for themselves. And that meant sometimes they made mistakes. And so then not protecting them from their mistakes, but helping them to learn from them. That was the really important focus in my parenting.
Okay, that's great. So, my next question from you is this. Please tell me, our audience, how does she manage her time across multiple roles?
How do I manage my Well, now it's pretty simple because I I live by myself. My children are grown up. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. That's pretty simple. Um, but at the time, when I was a single parent and I was getting my business started and I was giving speeches and all of these things, I was going crazy. And I had a dear friend who gave very good advice. And I went to her and said, "What do I leave out? What can I change? Because this is too much." And she said, "Well, you keep telling yourself there's not enough time for everything." She said, "You need to start telling yourself, saying it out loud so your brain hears it, there's enough time for everything." So I came home and I started saying, "Okay, there's enough time for everything." And I couldn't feel it, I couldn't see it, but I kept going, "There's enough time for everything." And finally, I'm not good at lying to myself. I need to tell myself the truth. So I also said, "I may not see it right now, but there's enough time for everything." And I do not know how it worked, but it slowed everything down and there was enough time for everything. I think a big issue in our world is that we exercise faith or trust, and that's what that saying that did for me, is helped me to go, okay, you might not be able to see it, but there's going to be enough time. Just take your time. And as you were starting this program and you were getting everything done, and I said, take your time. It's okay. We'll manage. Did that help you?
Okay, that's great. That's very interesting. So, my next question is, how does she research new clients or audience?
Say that again, please.
I'm saying that how does she reach new clients or the audience?
Ah, well, I did a number of things. I started my work by getting upset about something and writing a letter to the editor to a magazine. And people came from everywhere. They went, "I've been looking for somebody who says what you're saying." And then I also gave classes for parents to teach them the parenting that I had learned. And I started giving classes just to get myself out there, out into the world. And mostly over the 54 years now that I've been a therapist, mostly people came by word of mouth. Somebody said, "You should go see Eileen. She can help you with this." And that, I think, is the best way to get clients.
Okay, wonderful. That's great. So, my next question is this: which tools or methods are essential in her work?
And again, I'm going to have to ask you to say that again. I didn't quite understand it.
Okay,
Please.
my question is this: how does she stay motivated of helping others?
How do I stay motivated? Um, I live according to my own choice. I do what I want to do. I choose to do things. There are 7 building blocks or pillars for self esteem. If you want to feel good about who you are, there's 7 characteristic things that people who feel good about who they are do. And the most important, or not maybe the most important, but one of the 4 most important, and the first one on the list, is to take responsibility. And responsibility means to accept that my life is for me to take care of, that I'm the one who's in charge. And so if I want something in my life, then I'm the one who brings it in. And if I don't want something, I'm the one who says, no, I don't want to do that. So after a while of doing that, everything you do is because you want to do it. And then it's not hard at all.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is, what does a typical day in her life look like?
Hmm. Well, I don't know if you're aware of it, but at this point, I'm 83 years old and I am not working the way I used to, but I still am working. I'm writing, I'm appearing on podcasts, I'm working on a speech I'm going to be giving in April. So I am still working. But my typical day is very different from what it used to be. It used to be I had a house, I had children, I had a garden. Now I'm in an RV. Do you know what an RV is? A recreational vehicle?
No.
Boy, there's some kind of sound that's pound in my. Is somebody typing? If somebody's using a keyboard, I'm hearing it here. At any rate, now an RV is a recreational vehicle, something you can live in and travel in at the same time, right? And I've been living in an RV since 2017, and so my day is very simple. I get up and I uh, do the work that I've decided I want to do, and I take care of myself, and I visit with friends, and I everything I do, I choose to do. The weekend, 2 days, I wrote an article and a chapter for a book in the last 2 days, for example.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is this. Please tell me that our audience, how does she balance personal and professional responsibilities?
By uh, making choices about what's important to me. One thing that's been very important to me in my life is that I keep my promises. If I tell you I'm going to do something, then I will do everything in my power to do it. And that means that I also need to, like, if you ask me to do something and I'm not sure I want to do it, I need to tell you, I'm not sure. I can't promise that. I'll let you know by this time. And so balancing, I think, comes from me being in charge of um, the promises I make. Now, it's been easier for me because I've been self employed. I don't have a boss, or I am the boss. And so I don't have somebody telling me all of a sudden, well, you have to do this. Uh, and that's a both a blessing and a curse, because I get to do whatever I want, but at the same time, I don't always have somebody I can immediately ask, "What do you think of this? Can you help me with that?" And so that's another thing I've needed to learn to do, is to ask for help and then let people help. Um, my understanding of why we're all here on the earth is that we all came to learn and grow and develop ourselves. And so uh, I'm constantly looking for, how can I grow? What else can I do? What can I learn from what's happened? And that makes my world very full. And I also have learned not to automatically agree, yes, I'll do this, but I follow what I have learned as a 72-hour rule. That if you ask me to do something, I usually think it over for 72 hours, 3 days, before I say yes or no, so that I know for sure it's something I want to do.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is, how does she approach or structuring her coaching services?
How do I approach doing what with my coaching services?
Yes.
How do I approach what? I don't tell me the question again, please.
I'm saying that I repeat my question. How does approach or structuring her coaching services?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that their coaching, my coaching services. What's the word right before that? Can you write it for me
Okay,
or
I
tell me what
repeat.
is?
I'm changing my question. Don't worry. So my question is that how does she handle client or audience feedback?
Ah, well, the most important thing is to allow yourself to receive it, to let people appreciate. A lot of people, particularly women, worry about. Um, you know, they should be very humble. They shouldn't think well of themselves. But all of us need to know we did a good job. So I think I handle it first by deciding for myself, did I do a good job? Am I happy with what I did? And I look for the best I can find, not the worst. So then, when an audience or somebody I'm working with gives me feedback, I call that having a home. It has a place to go inside of me because I've already accepted appreciation for what I've done. And we all need that. And it's not something that we need to push away. So mostly I accept it. Sometimes I may ask a person if they want to learn more about what's happened or why something occurred the way it did. Um, so mostly I just take it as we're partners. This is what you got from it. And this is how I see it. And thank you very much for seeing this. It's very nice when what you do that you think is special or that helps somebody, it's very nice to know that they see it that way and that they are experiencing the help. That's very nice to hear.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is this. Please tell me, how does she overcome emotional or professional blocks?
Emotional or professional, what is the last word?
Blocks, block,
Love? Oh, blocks.
BLOC, block.
Blocks. Okay, got it. Okay. Um, well, as I mentioned, I see the world, or maybe I didn't say it this way, but I see the world as a giant school. And anything that poses a problem or a puzzle or an issue for me is I see as something I need to learn from. And so I'm constantly learning. Like being on your program today, I'm learning um, what my part can be when when I'm working with a new group of people, you and your fellow students, it's different working with you than with other people. So, what can I learn? And part of what I've learned is I need to speak up and say, this is what I need. So, I ask you, when will you please send me the link, right? Because that was something that I needed. So, blocks I see as opportunities to learn. I don't see them as blocks. And so my question is, what do I need to learn here? Uh, and sometimes a block is telling you this isn't right for you. So I also pay attention to my emotions, to my feelings. And if something doesn't feel good to me, I accept that and say, I don't know why, I can't explain it, but this isn't right for me. I'm not going to do it.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is, how important is networking in her career?
Well, networking is something I couldn't do very well when I first started out because I didn't have a computer. Computers were not in everybody's home, and I couldn't just reach out and find people. I had to actually put on some clothes and get in my car and drive someplace and interact with people in person. Uh, and I think our cultures in the world, it's more important to network now than it has been in the past. In the past. But one thing is I it's very important to know who I am, what I want, what's important to me before I go out and network with other people because uh, that mean that enables me to stay grounded, to stay inside of myself and not lose myself as I go out. Most of us have been taught to live what I call outside in. If I feel like I'm not loved enough, what most people are taught to do is, oh, go out and find love someplace. Well, if I think I'm not loved enough, that means there's something missing in me. And in the world, uh, whatever we have inside of us is what we're going to find outside. Like attracts like, right? So if I go out to look for somebody, I'm going to find somebody who doesn't feel like they have enough love in them either. And that can create problems. But if I live from the inside out, if I love myself first, then I fill up with love, and the love runs over onto the people around me, and it also gets reflected back to me. So I have love that nobody can take away from me. And so in networking, I want to first pay attention to myself and send out who I am. And then the people that are right for me will find me and come back to me. We'll find each other easily.
Okay, that's great. So, my next question is this: which skills are most important for someone helping other emotionally?
Tell me the first part of that again. Say your
Uh,
question
which
again, please.
which which skills are most important for someone helping other emotionally?
Okay. Is to know your own self, to be in charge of your own emotions. That's the most important skill. And mm, okay, so the most important skill is to know your own, to know the emotions that you experience, to realign with emotions. Uh, Most of us don't understand what emotions are or what they're for. What I've been able to figure out is emotions are energy. So right now there's energy going between you and me, right? And when you slipped out of the picture, the energy was gone and it was harder for me. I don't know if you noticed that, but I'll mention that. Um, and and so I need to be balanced and know what emotion is all about in order to be able to be around somebody who has a lot of emotion. So I'm not afraid of what's going on with them. And also, so I'm strong enough to help them go through what they go through. And also, so whatever is happening with me doesn't go into what's happening with them. When you're a therapist helping others, you help the other person, you're not focused on helping yourself at that time. So the more you know yourself and the more organized you are as a person, the better.
Okay, wonderful. That's great. That's very interesting. So, my next question is this: how does she continue to improve her skill and knowledge?
Well, I do it every day. Every day, I I experience things, and so let me just give you one of the articles I wrote was about an injury I did to my leg back in October. And people were telling me I likely would have to have surgery. But I was planning to go to Canada, to another country, to celebrate my birthday with a friend who was having a birthday. And I asked people, okay, I want to go. You tell me I need surgery. I can't get the surgery right now. So I want to go to Canada. Can I still go? And I was told, wear boots, don't walk long distances, go up and down stairs like this. And so I said, okay. And I did those things. I went for 9 days. And when I came back, I didn't have to have surgery because my leg healed itself. And so I took what happened in my life and I learned from it and I took responsibility for it, and then it worked itself out. Now, it doesn't always happen that way, but the more responsibility I have taken for my life, the better things work out like that.
Okay, that's great, Elaine. So please give me advice for viewers.
Advice for what?
Please give me advice for viewers who can watch you.
I'm
Anybody advice. You give me anybody advice.
okay. For people in the world. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Okay. All right. Um, I hope you can understand me too. It's quite a challenge to do what you're doing, and congratulations, by the way. You're doing that, and you're doing it in a language that you don't use every day, maybe, uh, and you're doing a good job of it. So there's a piece of advice. We need to take chances. Most people get afraid about taking chances. In my work with people as a therapist, I find that people will pile up a big pile of pain before they'll take the chance of making a change. And in fact, if you make the change as fast as you can after you notice that change is necessary or is there for you to make uh, things are easier. Your life is smoother. Now, why don't people make changes? Because they're afraid. And I wanted to mention about fear because I work with emotions, and fear is something we go to immediately when we run into something we don't understand or we don't know well. And probably about 33 years ago, I had been afraid my whole life. And how do I end being afraid? If I go to fear first, every person usually goes to fear first. What's the opposite of fear? And what I came up with is it's faith or trust. And then if I'm already over here in the fear, how do I get over to faith and trust? And I came up with an idea that if I thought about, do what if I had a guarantee that everything's going to work out if I try this new direction and I'm going to be okay, what would I do? And what I found with everybody is if I know I'm going to be okay, I will keep going. I will take the risk. I will step into the faith. And that's something that all of us can benefit from learning in life. There's a lot of things in the world to be afraid of, and being in fear blocks us from being creative and taking action.
Okay, we are very happy. Thank you so much, Elaine. We are very happy that you are here on my show to share your life journey with our audience. Thank you. So, viewers, this is our interview with guest Elaine. I hope you like it. We will meet in the next interview. Take care. Pakistan, Zindabad, Rehan School, Zindabad. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.